How's it going, guys, and welcome to the Minute channel. Today we're going to talk about two different interesting news that kind of go together for some interesting reason. And of course we want to talk about the sales for Persona 5 Royal, which is crushing a lot of numbers right now, as well as, well, some no good numbers for some other series I want to talk about in a second. But let's go ahead and jump right into it. So of course, as you can see by the title of the video, Persona 5 Royal is selling super well right now. It is estimated that at least in Japan it sells 51,000 within the first few days of the release. 51,000 physical copies. That just means just Switch, PlayStation 5, Xbox releases, and of course PlayStation 5 barely sold in Japan because there's barely any PlayStation 5s in Japan. So basically this is just Switch. That's pretty much it, right? Because think about it for a second. Nobody plays Xbox games in Japan, and there's barely any PS5s out there. So really most of these numbers are probably gonna come from the Switch based on the numbers here. Yeah, I'm right. 45,998 physical copies for Nintendo Switch, as well as a measly 5,000 on PlayStation 5. This is Sony's fault, by the way. I truly believe this is Sony's fault. But so far the numbers are looking good. It looks like it's actually performing really well in the Xbox. I believe I saw it ranking the top 20 games, most downloaded games of Xbox. Like, you know, ranking that they have and everything. It is on the top 20. I believe it's number 13 or number 12 or something on that rank, which is pretty cool. It's always nice to see something like that out there. I feel like if you're interested in this game, definitely check it out. Even if it's just an Xbox Game Pass or something like that, it does help at least, you know, kind of gauge, you know, the interest for future games and everything. Speaking of future games, that leads to the other news, which as I mentioned earlier, not so good thing to talk about. There is the fact that Soul Hackers 2 sold below expectations. Now this is something that I expected for a lot of different reasons. I think if we want to digest how this whole marketing thing came about, I believe that this game just was really poorly marketed. I believe going through Soul Hackers 2 as the name was a really poor choice, because this is really, Soul Hackers 2 doesn't have anything to do with the first Soul Hackers, like in any kind of way. Like at least Persona 1 and Persona 2 and Persona 3 and Persona 4, any of the Persona games, they kind of have a theme going on. Same thing with the Shin Megami Tensei mainline games, they kind of have a thing going on. Soul Hackers did not have anything to do with the second game, except for maybe like name dropping certain things and everything. It was definitely a very different game from anything else, and for better or worse, I believe that it just didn't perform as well as Atlas has hoped for this game. In fact, it does mention here it is currently struggle expected sales levels. We believe that it is a title that can be sold over long term, so we will continue to update the game in the future to aim to expand sales. Now I will say this, I think one thing that really killed the hype for this game is the DLC. And I need to address this because a lot of people ask this a lot of time. In fact, I was going to do a video talking about the poor practices of DLC that Atlas has been doing lately, and I feel like the worst example of out of everything lately was Soul Hackers 2, because one, it was a brand new game, no re-release, no anything like that, and I think a lot of people just wanted a new game that wasn't like so many things that felt caught out of the game as a DLC kind of thing. I think that this really hurt at least the goodwill that fans have for Atlas. And I don't know, lately I feel like Atlas has been doing this a lot, that honestly feels like a slap in the face. If you're a big fan, a fan that has been playing these games for a really long time, and they suddenly drop a brand new game, and the game is just infested with DLC, they're selling you demons, they're selling you they like a ton of different costumes, they're selling you even expanded story things and everything. I don't know, it does leave me with a bad taste in my mouth. I need something that I couldn't support. Even to this day, even though I already finished the game and everything, I never bought any of the DLC. I never talked about the DLC as far as like what it, you know, like talking about like what is in it or anything like that. I did make a video talking about DLC, but not about, you know, like talking about my feelings or anything like that, because I really didn't bought any of it. I refuse to do that. If I say something in the channel, I try to at least stick to what I'm saying, you know, have some integrity in that regard. But that's my opinion about this. I want to hear your thoughts about this. How do you feel about the two different news? Persona 5 Royal critical reception is amazing right now, it's doing super well, and I'm really happy that it's selling as well as it is. On the other hand, Soul Hackers 2 isn't selling so well, and let me know in the comments down below, what do you guys think about this? Do you think it's a good thing or a bad thing? Is it selling well or not? Do you guys even play the game? I know a lot of people didn't actually play the game. They saw it, they were like, it's okay, and they didn't play it or anything like that. Are you thinking of picking up the game later on, maybe for Black Friday or since sale or something like that? Anyway, thanks so much for watching this, guys. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye bye. But before we end this video, I want to thank all the members: Miko, Another Fox, Demicro, H2DK, King Narukami 45, Ida McNeil, and Rising Oilblin. Thank you so much, guys, for your support. I couldn't make these videos without your help.